profit motive, which inspires capitalism, doesn't pay to hire anybody unless you make more money than you pay them, so that you can get more for you and give less to them, especially unchecked, brings out greed and indifference to other human beings suffering, a total lack of compassion. A good example is mass shootings. We have more mass shootings than anyone else, at least 7 times more than any other country. In the U.S. so far in 2023, we've had 163 mass shootings. We've had more mass shootings than we have days this month. And a mass shooting is defined as an incident in which 4 or more victims are shot or killed. And that's what each one of these entails, each of the 163, just since the beginning of January. And we should say that mass shootings don't really account for the number of gun deaths in the United States or the number of gun violence incidents. The biggest cause of death of children in America is shootings. And their impact on communities is really evident. And yet, we don't have the kind of gun restrictions that every other developed country has. Why? Why don't we pass the strict gun regulations that every other nation that's developed has? Well, that's because we have the NRA, the National Rifle Association, as a successful lobby to make more money for the gun manufacturers. They're a lobbyist group. And the point of a lobbyist group is to get more money for whoever pays them. And there are 5 lobbyists to every member of our Congress and Senate. That is corruption, that you allow so many people to die with arbitrary mass shootings. The corruption goes everywhere. In the Supreme Court, Clarence Thomas turns out to have disobeyed every rule of disclosure and claimed he didn't know. Ignorance is not an excuse in the face of the law. Surely the Supreme Court judge knows that. He was caught accepting a $550 million, $550,000, not $1 million, a little over $500,000 vacation out of the generosity of Harlan Crow, a right-wing billionaire that particularly gave financing to strike down abortion laws. Those look like a conflict of interest. That same Harlan Crow bought 3 small houses that belonged to Clarence Thomas. Clarence Thomas's mother lives in one, and Harlan Crow bought that at a high price and is letting Clarence Thomas's mother live there for free, rent-free, and then tells us that he will make one of those houses a museum to honor Clarence Thomas when he dies. Well, that's corruption. When people in charge of the law of the land are stealing, they're not declaring vast sums and gifts they're getting. They're not declaring income. Clarence Thomas and Ginny Thomas did declare between $150,000 and $500,000, but to a corporation that no longer exists. What's that about? Wonder why he got away with that. This is very strange. Ginny Thomas got away with financing 6 buses to go to January 6th. That does look like a conflict of interest, because Clarence Thomas was the only Supreme Court judge that voted that the January 6th insurrection should not be pursued. The people shouldn't be sued. They shouldn't be held accountable. That's interesting. And so that's the Supreme Court of Law in the United States. There are lawmakers, and that has a profound effect on people's sense that they're safe and that their laws are fair and just. The quest for more money, the quest for profit in capitalism, makes rich men who steal and lie seem like great citizens.